Moving on, let's talk about the upcoming elections in the United Kingdom. Ollie Barrett is in London, gives us more on this and other stories making headlines around the world. Ollie, the electoral challenge for Prime Minister Rishi Sunak and the Conservatives seem to be getting bigger by the day.
It certainly doesn't appear to be getting any easier, Shubhendu. That is clear from all of the polling. Less than 3 weeks now until election day, and 3 opinion polls released over the weekend predicted a near wipeout for the Conservatives. One pollster warning of an electoral extinction in the elections on July the 4th. Sunak's leadership has been racked with difficulties, and the Prime Minister's sudden decision to announce elections was met with mixed reactions and an exodus of Conservative MPs. One of the polls, published by the Sunday Times, is predicting the Conservatives could end up with just 72 seats in the 650-member House of Commons. That would be the lowest in their nearly 200-year history. Labour, according to that same poll, would win 456 seats. Well, DD India's Stuart Smith is joining me live now from London. Stuart, how worrying is the latest polling for the governing Conservatives?
Well, even senior Conservative figures have admitted that the likelihood of this election is not that it would go in their favour. And so in terms of worry, this doesn't add anything in terms of their hopes that things were going to lead to a victory for the Conservative Party, but it does, as you suggest, provide further embarrassing data that suggests that the Conservative Party is heading for what's potentially a historic defeat, with one of those polls suggesting indeed the lowest result in their 200-year history when it comes to seats. One of the other polls that took place over the weekend and cast more information about the way things are heading 3 weeks into this general election campaign is that the Labour Party has increased its support, so 2 percentage points more since polling 5 days before then, and in terms of the Conservatives, 4 percentage points worse than the poll conducted 5 days before. So only going in the wrong direction for the Conservative Party, meaning any hope of trying to change the trajectory in these last 2.5 weeks of campaigning is ever fading away ever faster. Now, if the Labour Party does manage to achieve that 25% point lead as predicted by one of the polls, that would be a lead not seen since the short-lived Prime Minister Liz Truss, and in terms of support for the Conservative Party, that would be at its lowest since the dying days of Theresa May's premiership in 2019.
And Stuart, what is Labour saying about relations with the European Union if it wins the election?
Well, largely the Labour Party has attempted to try to avoid talking about the controversial issue of Brexit. It has said, though, that it would not seek to rejoin the European Union, the single market or the customs union, and not make any major changes to Brexit. But after an interview with the Shadow Chancellor, Rachel Reeves, there was a bit more detail about what Labour would do, and it suggests some changes could be coming. For example, the Labour Party says it would try to improve elements of cooperation with the European Union, would try to improve on the UK's trade deal with the European Union. That could be small things like joining up chemical regulations or the mutual recognition of professional qualifications. Tinkering, Labour suggests, to try to improve the situation. But one of the people at the forefront of Brexit negotiations when they were taking place, David Frost, who was a member of Parliament for the Conservative Party, has suggested, except for free movement, people didn't vote against any single subset of single market rules. He said they voted against having the rules set in Brussels at all. So even tinkering, getting the Labour Party into hot water with those that are still passionate about the Brexit project.